Originally built in 1736 for Archbishop Leopold Firmian, this fabulous Rococo structure is what Hollywood used as the back of the Von Trapp villa. No doubt you remember what scenes were filmed here, especially when the kids fell in the lake. In winter, the lake often freezes over, providing the perfect rink for a graceful skate or a just-getting-started figure eight. In this scene, you can't help but notice the majestic Untersberg dominating the background. You've now seen both the front and back facades used by Hollywood to portray the Von Trapp villa. Tucked away in Salzburg's southern suburbs is the real, former Von Trapp estate. The villa is privately owned and not on the beaten path, so please keep out and be quiet. Shh. When the film scouts arrived in Salzburg in 1963, one of their target locations was a church for the wedding scene. However, most churches weren't hip to the idea. Only a few would allow filming. Of their limited choices, film scouts chose the beautifully Baroque church near the shoreline of scenic Moon Lake. After the honeymoon, Nazi Germany annexed Austria and Herr von Trapp knew it was time to leave town. But first, the family had to perform in the Salzburg Festival. The theater is located in a 17th century structure, formerly the Archbishop's Stables and Riding School, that extends the entire length of the block and houses 3 theaters. It was upon the stage of the middle theater that the Von Trapps sang their farewell songs before escaping to the cemetery. Near the theater is St. Peter's Cemetery, the oldest active graveyard in Austria, more than 1,000 years old. It is here the Trapp family hid during the escape scene, not in the convent as portrayed in the film. Actually, they hid in a Hollywood studio, but this cemetery inspired the director. In St. Peter's Cemetery you'll find the grave of Franziskus Wosner. This priestly man is the real Max Detweiler. He was not the conceited sponge the movie portrays. Father Wosner was the Trapp family's spiritual advisor and musical conductor, who traveled with them every escape step of the way. Without Father Wosner, it's very possible the story would not exist. From the cemetery, they evaded the Nazi dragnet and escaped over the Alps to Switzerland. But this is Hollywood's version of the tale. In the late 1940s, the real Maria von Trapp wrote a book narrating the family's enterprising journey. Not believing it would ever amount to anything, Maria sold all the rights for just $9,000, which was still a lot of cash in those days. From the book sprang a 2-part German film production in the 1950s. The Germans subsequently sold the rights to the Americans, who, Rodgers and Hammerstein, made it into a long-running, hugely successful Broadway show. 20th Century Fox Film Studios then bought the rights for $1.25 million, and the rest is history. Ironically, the movie never aired in Austria, and most Austrians have never heard of the Von Trapp family. For nearly 5 years, I, your humble narrator, have personally escorted thousands of visitors to Salzburg on the Sound of Music tour. I can say with absolute certainty that there's hardly a more stunning destination to visit. It's time to experience it yourself. Join me on a tour to Europe and we can do the Sound of Music together. Or, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, we have all the information you need to follow in the Von Trapp's footsteps within our indispensable guidebook to Germany and Austria for sale at our website, harrimantravelbooks.com.